Hello, my retro friends. Thank you for finding my channel, Mike the Retro Realtor. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways to avoid buyer's regret when purchasing a house. These are just more mental strategies. There's a couple things that you actually really should do. In most cases, you'll be buying a used house, so of course, there'll be some compromises. Let's start with fear of missing out. Right now, it is a seller's market, and buyers, I get these text messages all the time, these phone calls. I want to see this house. I want to see this house. The instant it hits the market. This market is very brutal on buyers. And yeah, you might get the house, but maybe you made too many compromises because you were afraid of missing out on the boat. Here's the thing. There's always going to be houses for sale. The markets are always changing. The environment in terms of interest rates are always changing. But you're better off getting what you want and waiting out a couple months and not making a mistake that will cost you tens of thousands of dollars because you're afraid to miss out on something. Another way to avoid buyer's regret is outside influences. I can't wait for my kids to buy their first houses. And I'm going to be cheering on my kids to a degree. I'm also going to do the dad thing and like pulling them back a bit, especially me being in the business. If I let my kids run out with and buy whatever they wanted, that would be bad on me. If you're the only one buying the house, or if it's you and your partner are the only ones buying the house, limit the outside influences. Take it all in, of course. Something I see from time to time, someone will buy a house and then their partner who's not on the mortgage, who does not have an economical stake in the property, will be influencing the purchase. Well, your partner is not on the mortgage or on the title. Your parents are an influence, your partner's an influence. Again, take them with a grain of salt. When you're purchasing a house, this is a long time commitment. You will see ebbs and flows in the market. Right now, unfortunately, if you're buying at the peak of the market. People don't get in trouble if they don't have to sell and take a loss. So as long as you understand that you're buying at peak of the market, it can go down. I know a guy who bought and sold over 40 years, the same exact apartment building on ebbs and flows. You can time the market with real estate, but your best bet is to buy it, hold on to it forever. You'll acquire equity in it, you'll pay down the note. Don't freak out because you buy a house and then all of a sudden the market goes down. Your note doesn't change. Understand, as long as you're not forced to sell, it's like a stock. Stocks go up and down. You will do just fine. Just keep in mind, ebbs and flows, they really don't affect you once you're locked in. Too many compromises. I kind of touched this with number 2 about outside influences. You gotta be happy. There's nothing worse than someone moving into a house and then a year later, like, I hate this. That's a terrible feeling. You're pretty much stuck unless you're going to take a huge loss. It is very expensive to sell a house. If you get in there and you're happy and you make things work, you didn't bite off too much of what you can chew in terms of the note, you didn't bite off too much of what you can chew on what kind of repairs or upgrades you want to make. Again, it's a long-term commitment. So if you can move in there and you're happy, you will be happy. Don't make too many compromises because once you get in there, you're going to notice everything. It's very similar to buying a used car. When you're in the showroom, everything looks perfect. But once you've been there on the road for 6 months, then you're like, oh, well, what's this or what's that? Do an inspection. I know this is going to cost you a lot of properties. The reason why people aren't doing inspections, put a house on the market, there's 8 offers. As the seller, 9 times out of 10, they're going to take the offer without an inspection. As a listing agent, I'm going to be honest. I love seeing no inspection offers. With people not doing inspections, you get into a house and all of a sudden there's $30,000 worth of foundation work that needs to be done. You buy a flip, you buy an estate, and the seller has never lived in there. And so they don't need to fill out an inspection report that would be attached to the listing. They can actually legally refuse to do one on the grounds that they never lived on the property. Once you buy a property and the money changes hands, that's yours. That could be a problem. If nothing else, eventually you just start feeling like you got ripped off. It's, again, going back to the cars. If you buy a used car, you get what you get. Every dad will tell you, take your car to a mechanic, have them do a quick once-over on it. But so just keep in mind, if you buy a house and you waive your right to do an inspection, that means maybe you might want to pass on that house because you might be looking at long-term problems. There's not very many remedies for you once you close a deal. Keep these 5 tips in mind, and these will greatly improve the odds of you being a happy homeowner for years and years. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to my channel for more common sense real estate advice with a flair for nostalgia. Thanks again, everyone.